Alright, time for another Match Attax video. This time we've got the complete 2018-2019 collection. I'm fairly confident this will be the only album in the world at the moment that has every single card that is available for this collection. You've managed to get the Master card, the incredibly rare Superstar Limited Edition signed card by Sergio Aguero, which is only available in the Entertainer stores in the UK. I've spoken to Topps about this and they reckon there's around about 150 of them. So it's pretty rare, similar to the Platinums that they've done over the last few years. It's not called a Platinum card, I'm not sure why, but it's basically the same thing. And obviously we'll show you that card at the end as well. So if we open up the book, obviously we'll show you all the cards, but we won't go into too much detail about the base cards because they're all pretty straightforward. I'll mention a few players here and there. Topps, as you can see, is there put Leno in for Arsenal. Obviously a lot of people would have thought they would have put Cech in, but as it turned out, Leno does seem to be first choice goalkeeper at Arsenal at the moment anyway. And Joe Hart again back in the Premier League for Burnley after a, could probably best be described as a rough couple of years as well. Cardiff again back in the Premier League. Chelsea with their record goalkeeper David Luiz, Neil Wakefield. Hazard for their star player. Crystal Palace. Everton, obviously now with England's regular #1 goalie there in Jordan Pickford. Fulham. Huddersfield. I think Huddersfield might struggle this season. They stayed up last year, but I think that was probably on the back of them having an incredible start to last season, where after 4 or 5 games they were near enough top of the league. Leicester, obviously a fairly tough time at Leicester over the last few weeks. I'm sure everyone knows all about that. Liverpool, again a team, probably realistically the only team that at the moment are going to go anyway to challenging Man City, but I still think Man City, obviously here we are Man City, I still think they're probably the team that everyone's going to have to beat, and I think will probably run away with the league, even though you can see De Bruyne there as their star player. He's suffered some injuries and come back, and I think got another injury going to keep him out till probably January. And United, Newcastle, Southampton, Tottenham. Yeah, again, a few injuries this season for Tottenham, and obviously the debacle that is their stadium. We're reading in the paper Standard yesterday that in Watford that Tottenham probably won't be moving into their stadium until February now at the earliest, which is a bit of a joke really, bearing in mind they were supposed to move into it in about October, as was agreed I believe with the Premier League at the start of the season, obviously West Ham, meaning that obviously the result with having to play matches there a day or two after NFL matches, which was a fairly ridiculous sight to watch a Premier League match, watch a Premier League match with the NFL logo emblazoned across the centre spot. And then we've got the Rising Stars for Musset, Maitland-Niles and Ampadu, Van Bissaka, Kenny and Diabate, Solanke, Foden and McTominay, and Sims, Walker-Peters and Rice. And we've got the star signings for Lichtsteiner, Gibson and Kepa. And we've got Meyer, Richarlison and Schürrle, Pereira, Keita and Mahrez, and then Fred, Wilshere and Patricio. Then man of the matches for Bournemouth, we've got Ake, Ivan, King. Arsenal, Monreal, Ramsey and Ozil. For Brighton, Ryan, Duncan, Izquierdo. Burnley, I've got me, Berg, Goodmanson and Barnes. For Cardiff, we've got Bamba, Patterson and Zahor. Chelsea, Christensen, Jorginho and Morata. Crystal Palace, Tompkins, Milivojevic and Townsend. Everton, I've got Pickford, Davis and Tosin. Fulham, Ream, Kearney and Seri. Huddersfield, Jorgensen, Depotre and Mooney. Leicester, I've got Maguire, Pereira and Silva. Alexander-Arnold, Fabinho and Firmino for Liverpool. Ederson, Walker and Silva for Man City. Valencia, Young and Lukaku for Man United. Dubrovka, Kennedy and Perez for Newcastle. McCarthy, Romeo and Lamina for Southampton. Davis, Trippier and Son for Tottenham. Capacilli, Firmino and Deulofeu for Watford. Anderson, Yarmolenko and Hernandez for West Ham. And then we've got Cody, Moutinho and Jota for Wolves. Then 100 clubs, there's 11 of these, so a team's worth. In goal we've got De Gea. And then in defence we've got Alonso, Bellerin, Vertonghen and Azpilicueta. In midfield there is Sterling, De Bruyne, Kante, Jesus. And then just probably off the front we've got Salah, and then up front we've got Harry Kane. Then we've got the 6 tactic cards for the referee, agent, base card, boost, scout card, injury and possession. Then you've got the limited editions. They've, for the first 4 cards, they've gone gold, silver and bronze like they've done for the last few years. So we've got Henderson as LE1, Dele Alli as LE2, Leroy Sane as LE3, LE4 is Paul Pogba. And then something slightly different this year, they've gone for superstar limited editions, which are LE5 to 11. LE5 and 11, which is Aguero and Aubameyang, are in the starter packs. 6, 7, 8 and 9 are in the mega tins, which are Giroud, Van Dijk, Vardy and Eriksen, and then Lingard, which is available in the advent calendar. There's the Aubameyang. And then we've got, these are the cards that come in the mega tins. We've got the Premier League title winners. I won't go through all of the names of these, but again this will come in the Premier League title winners mega tin. You'll get all 15 of these as well as the limited edition. And then we've got the elite attackers, so they'll be in the elite attackers mega tin. And then the top defenders, so they'll be the top defender mega tin. And then we've got the International Star Mega Tin, which will contain the following 15 cards. And then those of you who follow any of top social media will be aware that each week they release a set of 5 cards called Match Attax On Demand for £3, which they will send to you, like I say, 5 cards per week. These will feature sort of memorable moments or impacts or something that affect the result, or just sort of anything sort of fairly memorable from the game from the weekend before. We're up to, I think, week 12 now, but we've so far received in the post up to week 9. So there's 45 of these so far that we've got. Obviously, I think when we get the other ones we'll add those in as well. These cards can also be used for gameplay, so if anyone's going to be competing in any of the Tops events and there's any cards in here you think a decent value for money, you can include them in your team. Like I say, that's the first 45 from the first 9 weeks worth that we've had in the post. Oh no, we must have had 10 weeks, there we go, so there's 10 weeks, so that goes up to number 50. Jack must have put those in without me knowing. The 4 cards we have here for Mkhitaryan, Tompkins, Evans and Frederick, I'll just show you one of these if I can get it out. If you look here, they're much plainer print, there's none of the sort of reflectiveness on these. These 4 actually came in a pack that we got from a packet of ice cream, so I think Cadbury's and Tops must have obviously got together and do and done some sort of promotion that includes that. So I guess perhaps because of the fact they've been a freezer, they probably print them maybe slightly different. But those four are definitely different cards, so we put those down potentially as error cards. This one here, this again was part of the Match Attax preview packs. This is actually should be a foil card and should say fans favourite there. So obviously that's an error card as well. So if you've got one of those in your collection, perhaps keep it separately. This Locadia looks perfectly fine from the front, but if you look on the back, you can see it's upside down and it's not correctly printed. So that's very much an error card as well. And this one again is just, you can just see in the corner it's missing part of the printing there, so we put that in as an error. This here is the Master card. This can only be won by beating a Master at one of the TOPS events. I'm sure again a lot of you know Jack obviously took part in the World Championships last year and was a Master at the Milton Keynes event and the Lakeside event, so as part of that TOPS allowed him to have a Master card, which is pretty cool. Again, some of you may indeed have played against Jack at that event. Here we've just got the, so we can put it in here, just the pages, and these are the promotional cards. These were in the Sun newspaper about probably I think October time. One of them was available on the Saturday, and then the second one here was available on the Sunday. The cards aren't any different, but obviously because they're part of the sheets, it's something pretty cool just to add to the collection. We've also got here, a lot of you will be thinking, oh, that pack's a bit weird, only 6 cards. These are actually from Singapore. When Jack took part in the World Championship, he met people from Singapore, Malaysia, and across the UK. And as a result, we sort of swapped a few cards from the UK set. So we've got some of these. So again, we'll open these as well and do a video of that. But that's a pretty cool looking pack. You can see the writing there on the back, clearly from, I'm assuming, Singapore writing, although it looks a bit, to be honest, I wouldn't even begin to guess what language that looks like, but again, some pretty cool packs there, just a nice addition. And like I was saying, the Aguero card, which we've got here, you can see in the middle section here, this is a sticker that had actually been signed by Sergio Aguero. 150 of these or thereabouts in the country, so it's a pretty rare card. Again, like I say, if you manage to get hold of one of these, it's pretty cool. And like I say, we try and get every card in the set, so it's nice to have been able to get hold of this one. Unfortunately, we weren't lucky enough to find it, but managed to get a fairly good deal on it to add to our collection. But other than that, we're always on the lookout for any rare cards, particularly any of these Match Attax Ultimate. You can see, check out the previous video as well. We've on the hunt for particularly the autograph cards and that, so if anyone gets any of those, please drop us a message. But otherwise, please like, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.